Hi, I'm Reese. At 58, I've built a reputation as one of the most sought-after interior designers in the county. My portfolio boasts celebrity homes and upscale businesses, but my greatest pride was always my daughter, Amber. Mom, I got the promotion, Amber called last Tuesday, her voice bubbling with excitement. That's wonderful, sweetie. We should celebrate this weekend. Actually, Derek is taking me out tonight. Rain check? This had become our routine since Amber married Derek 2 years ago. Rain checks that never cleared. Promises of visits that dissolved into last-minute cancellations. At 32, my daughter had built her own life, and I respected that, even if it stung sometimes. I was scrolling through my calendar when Vanessa dropped by my office with coffee. Earth to Reese, you look a million miles away. Vanessa had been my rock since the divorce 15 years ago. We'd survived teenagers, menopause, and dating disasters together. Just thinking about Amber. She got that promotion. Vanessa gave me that look. Eyebrows slightly raised, lips pursed. Another rain check? You know how it is with newlyweds. 2 years isn't exactly newlyweds, hun, and you just finished paying off her student loans last month. It was true. I'd covered Amber's entire education, the down payment on her first condo, and dropped $60,000 on her dream wedding. Just last month, I'd gifted them a 2-week European vacation for their anniversary. She's my only child, Van. What else would I spend my money on? Maybe your retirement? Or that cottage in Maine you've been eyeing? My phone chimed with a text from Amber. Formal dinner at our place this Saturday, 7 p.m. Derek's mom, Patricia, will be there. Wear something nice. Vanessa read the message over my shoulder. Well, that's formal. Patricia and I have only met twice, at the engagement party and the wedding. Rich widow from Boston, right? The one who looked at your wedding gift like it might bite? I laughed, despite myself. That's her. What's with the formal invitation? Amber usually just calls last minute when she needs something. The knot in my stomach tightened. They've been hinting about buying a bigger house, in Patricia's neighborhood. Vanessa squeezed my shoulder. Just be careful, okay? I love Amber like a niece, but sometimes I think she sees you as Bank of Mom. She's just going through a phase. A 32-year-old phase? With a husband whose spending habits exceed his income? I slipped my phone into my purse. It's just dinner, Van. What's the worst that could happen? As it turned out, the worst was something I never could have imagined. I arrived at Amber and Derek's townhouse clutching a bottle of Cabernet and wearing my navy cocktail dress. The doorbell chimed twice before Derek opened the door. There's the woman of the hour. Come in, come in. His enthusiasm felt rehearsed, like a salesman on his 10th pitch of the day. Amber emerged from the kitchen wearing an outfit that probably cost more than my monthly mortgage. Mom, you look nice. She air-kissed both my cheeks, something she'd never done before. The house smelled of expensive takeout pretending to be homemade. Patricia is already here, in the living room. Patricia sat perched on the edge of the sofa like she was afraid it might contaminate her designer pants. At 60-something, she had that polished look of old money trying to appear younger. Reese, lovely to see you again. Her handshake was limp, her smile tight. Likewise, Patricia. It's been too long. Derek swooped in with wine glasses. Let's toast to family. Throughout the appetizers, conversation stayed surface level. Weather, traffic, local politics. Then, as Derek served the main course, Amber cleared her throat dramatically. So, Mom, we wanted to share some exciting news. Derek grabbed Amber's hand. We found our dream house. It's in Oakwood Heights, Amber added, naming the most exclusive neighborhood in town. 5 bedrooms, pool, guest house. Sounds impressive, I managed. Patricia nodded approvingly. It's 3 doors down from me. Perfect for when grandchildren arrive. Speaking of which, Derek continued, we're thinking of starting a family soon. Amber beamed. Wouldn't it be wonderful? You'll finally be a grandmother. Of course, children are expensive, Patricia said, eyeing me. Private schools, extracurriculars, college funds. We've been crunching the numbers, Derek said. The house is a bit of a stretch financially, but it's an investment in our family's future. My stomach churned. I excused myself to the bathroom, needing a moment alone. As I approached, I heard voices from the guest bedroom. The door was cracked open. "Are you sure your mom will go for this?" Patricia's voice. "Don't worry, we'll make my mom pay everything." Amber's voice was unmistakable. I froze. "She always does," Amber continued. "She's desperate to stay relevant in my life. We just need to play it right." "The down payment is just the beginning," Derek added. "Once the baby angle works, we'll get her to fund college accounts, maybe even a vacation property." "She'll need to liquidate some investments," Amber said casually. "But she'll do it. She always says I'm her best investment." I covered my mouth to suppress a gasp. "And if she hesitates?" Patricia asked. "I'll just remind her how she wasn't around enough when I was growing up. Works every time." The knife twisted deeper. I'd worked double shifts to provide for Amber after the divorce. I silently returned to the dining room, plastered on a smile, and somehow made it through dessert. I laughed at Derek's jokes, complimented Amber's table setting, and promised Patricia we'd do lunch soon. Driving home, tears blurred my vision. The daughter I'd sacrificed everything for saw me as nothing more than an ATM. The betrayal cut deep, but something else was rising through the pain: determination. No more Bank of Mom. No more manipulation. It was time Amber learned that every investment has its limits. The next morning, I pulled out every bank statement from the past 5 years and spread them across my dining table. The pattern was unmistakable. Amber's emergencies always coincided with luxury purchases. That spontaneous trip to Aspen, right after I paid her property taxes. The designer wardrobe, following my loan for car repairs. I called James, my financial advisor, and scheduled an urgent appointment. "This is concerning," James said, reviewing the transaction history. "You've transferred over $300,000 to your daughter since she turned 30. I had no idea it was that much. And you mentioned they're eyeing a property in Oakwood Heights? Those start at $2 million. They expect me to contribute the down payment." James leaned forward. "Reese, I need to be blunt. At this rate, your retirement fund will be depleted before you hit 70. What are my options? First, secure your accounts. I recommend changing your passwords and setting up alerts for any withdrawal over $500. While James drafted new paperwork, my phone buzzed with a text from my cousin Taylor. "Have you heard from Amber lately?" I asked when I called her back. "Last week at Melissa's baby shower. Why?" "Just curious what she might have mentioned about me." Taylor hesitated. "Look, I wasn't going to say anything, but she was bragging about your unlimited bank account funding their new house." My stomach dropped. "Go on." "She said, and I quote, 'Mom's guilt over the divorce means we'll never have to worry about money.'" Some of the girls looked uncomfortable, especially when she started showing photos of houses in Oakwood Heights. After hanging up, I called Vanessa, who confirmed her husband had golfed with Derek's father recently. Richard mentioned that Patricia has been coaching Amber and Derek on how to maximize family resources. His words. Apparently, Patricia did the same thing to her own parents until they cut her off. My phone rang. Amber's name flashed on the screen. "Mom, great news. The sellers accepted our offer on the house." "Congratulations. We need the down payment by Friday. $400,000. Can you wire it tomorrow?" My heart pounded. "That's a significant amount, Amber." "It's not like you can't afford it. Besides, it's for your future grandchildren." "Let's discuss this in person. Can you come over this evening?" 3 hours later, Amber sat across from me, tapping manicured nails against my kitchen counter. "I don't understand the problem. You paid for Cousin Jenny's entire medical school. Jenny paid back every penny, with interest. So this is a loan? Fine, whatever you need to call it." I slid the folder of bank statements toward her. "I've given you almost $500,000 over the years. None repaid." Amber's face flushed. "Are you seriously keeping score? After everything I went through with the divorce? I worked 3 jobs to give you a good life. While I was raised by nannies, do you know how that affected me? Enough to milk it for financial gain, apparently." Amber stood abruptly. "Patricia was right about you. You're just jealous of my lifestyle." Patricia taught you how to exploit family for money. I've learned she did the same to her parents. You've been investigating me? How dare you? No more handouts, Amber. Not for the house, not for anything. Her eyes narrowed. You'll regret this. When you're old and alone, don't expect us to care. No visits, no grandchildren, nothing. Is that supposed to hurt more than hearing my daughter promise to make Mom pay for everything? Amber's face went white. You were eavesdropping? I heard every word. You'll change your mind. You always do. She grabbed her purse. Last chance, Mom. The money, or your relationship with me. I think you made that choice for both of us. The door slammed so hard the windows rattled. I sank into a chair, shaking but somehow stronger than I'd felt in years. The following Monday, I sat in my attorney Maria's office, signing the updated will. So Amber is completely removed as beneficiary? Yes. Instead, I want to establish the Thornton Family Educational Trust. For future grandchildren? No, for foster children aging out of the system, kids who don't have anyone to help them. Maria nodded approvingly. The changes will be legally binding by end of week. That Saturday, I hosted our annual family barbecue. My brother Mike, cousin Taylor, and 15 other relatives gathered in my backyard. Amber and Derek were noticeably absent. Mike cornered me by the grill. What's going on? Amber called me in tears saying you're cutting her off. Family meeting in 5 minutes. I'll explain everything. Once everyone had settled with plates of food, I stood up. I need to share something difficult. I explained what had happened. The overheard conversation, the years of financial manipulation, the ultimatum. No embellishments, just facts. Taylor squeezed my hand. That explains the things she was saying at the shower. I've changed my will and established boundaries. If Amber chooses to reconcile genuinely someday, I'll be here. But no more financial support. Mike looked troubled. She's telling everyone you abandoned her over money. I expected that. 3 weeks passed. Vanessa called one morning. You won't believe what I heard. Derek and Amber lost the house. The financing fell through. Not surprising. There's more. Patricia is furious. Apparently, she co-signed something for them, expecting your money to cover it. 2 days later, my doorbell rang. Amber stood there, eyes red, looking uncharacteristically disheveled. Can I come in? I stepped aside. I've been doing a lot of thinking, she began, voice trembling. I realize I hurt you and I'm sorry. What specifically are you sorry for? She faltered. For making you feel used. Not for actually using me? Mom, please. We're about to lose everything. The bank denied our loan, Derek's commission check won't cover next month's rent, and Patricia is threatening to sue us. That sounds stressful. Just this once. Help us get back on our feet and things will be different. No. We're family. You can't just... Family doesn't treat each other like ATMs. Family doesn't plot to exploit each other. I made a mistake. People say things they don't mean. You meant every word, Amber. The only mistake was getting caught. She switched tactics, eyes hardening. Patricia was right. You're enjoying this. You're jealous of my life, my marriage. Actually, I pity it. When you die alone, remember this moment. I'd rather die alone than surrounded by people who only value my bank account. After she left, I called my travel agent and booked the 3-week Mediterranean cruise I'd been dreaming of for years. 6 months later, while volunteering at the Literacy Center, I ran into Derek's sister, Michelle. I've been meaning to call you, she said. I want you to know not everyone blames you. Derek and Amber are separating. The financial stress was too much. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? After everything? I'm sad that my daughter built her life on such a shallow foundation. Patricia's not speaking to either of them since the loan she co-signed defaulted. That evening, watching the sunset from my deck, I felt a sense of peace I hadn't experienced in years. My phone buzzed with photos from Taylor. She was using the concert tickets I'd gifted her. Next week, I'd be helping build houses in Costa Rica. My life was fuller, richer, and more authentic without the weight of toxic relationships. Some might call it revenge. I call it freedom. Would you have done what Reese did by completely cutting off her only child? Or would you have given Amber one more chance? Is permanent estrangement ever justified when it comes to family, especially your own children? Or should parents always leave the door open no matter what? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear whether you think Reese made the right decision or if she went too far. If you enjoyed this story of standing up to toxic manipulation, hit that like button and subscribe for more revenge stories where justice is served. New videos every day.